Hi, this is Billie Beene here with a flash world news update. Today's date, May 9, 2024, time about 8 a.m. in Texas. World News episode 158. If the sun doesn't get you, maybe it will be war. So we're talking about a 10% chance over the weekend of a kill shot from the sun that would produce a global EMP and certainly affect calms. Do I believe the kill shot is coming this weekend? I don't. I don't think it's the right time on God's timeline. Do I think we're going to have dramatic uh, impacts on global uh, communication systems such as satellites and GPS? Absolutely. So we have this morning from Suspicious Observers, Ben Davidson. We've had 10 X flares in the last few days, and we have now incoming to the Earth 4 strong CMAs and a 10% chance for a kill shot from the sun. And we had another X come off the sun flare late last night. The incoming 3 this weekend are full halo CMAs. We'll likely have one on Monday. Ben Davidson's rating it as a probability this weekend for geomagnetic storms of a classification 3, a 4, or a 5, with a KP of 7 to 8, possibly 9. And baby, if we go down to 10, well then, we'll have auroras around the globe. With a KP index of 7, 8, or 9, it's very likely in the U.S. we will see auroras down to Mexico. And this will impact over the weekend dramatically communication systems, which we know are vital in a time of war, particularly affecting satellites and GPS. And it is GPS that guides most military missiles. When they say they're guided, they're being guided in by GPS. Now let's see what's going on the war scene. We see recently I put out that Russia had issued a kill arrest for Zelensky. We had an assassination attempt on Zelensky by 2 of his colonels. It is NATO who wants to get rid of Zelensky, and for some reason they believe they must take him out and end his life. I guess Zelensky's not up for listening to NATO. So that happened. It was foiled, but NATO is still ongoing, and NATO is now intent, we believe, in the next few days in beginning World War III. So what's going on in Lithuania? We had yesterday the Prime Minister Samal say that Lithuania is going to send troops into Ukraine. And this prime minister said, oh, I don't think Russia's going to hit us with nukes. So we have yesterday, the prime minister of Lithuania received okay from the Lithuanian parliament to send Lithuanian troops into Ukraine. She doubts Russia will use nukes against Lithuania. We have in Latvia, we have a NATO exercise going on using German planes Typhoons. And in Romania, we have an exercise going on involving NATO and Romania's Navy plus NATO ships in the Black Sea. We have with Latvia, they share a border with Russia up here. So I guess their border extends this way. So Latvia shares a border with Russia extending 284 kilometers or 177 miles. And they share a border with Belarus of 173 kilometers or 132 miles. It's believed by many military analysts that NATO will kick off World War III against Russia, coming from the Baltic nations, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. And now we have this from War News 24/7. Okay, NATO prepares for World War III from the Baltics. And overnight, Lithuania had a curfew from 10 at night to 5 in the morning. That's because they had military on the streets. And it's believed that from the Baltic nations, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, NATO will kick off World War III this weekend. And we have in Lithuania, we have 10,000 Lithuania military plus 10,000 NATO troops. Germany also has troops on the Suwalki Gap, which is just a designation of land that's between Lithuania and Poland that it's believed Russia would want as a land bridge to its enclave, Kaliningrad. And we have this. It's believed that the next World War III will kick off from the Baltic nations, and that NATO has a command center in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine. And Latvia has said to its citizens, use your basements as anti-aircraft bunkers, in other words, bomb bunkers. We've seen similar instructions being given in Germany and other nations. And now we have this. Larry Johnson had an interview with Geomagnetic gameplay. Zelensky has ended elections and he's due to be out of office May 20 since President Putin is an attorney by training. It's believed that Russia will wait until after May 20 for the arrest of Zelensky. He's no longer officially the leader of Ukraine. And it's believed NATO has a plot to kill Z, and 2 Ukrainian colonels tried to assassinate him May 9 yesterday. And currently, Ukraine is out of troops and out of ammo. And we know that Russia is pushing forward. They're up to Kupiansk now. Russia begins now, it's believed by NATO, they will begin to hit decision centers. When Larry Johnson was asked, is Russia going to retaliate for the Crocus concert killing of civilians in Moscow about a month ago? He says they're not going to do a direct retaliation, rather a slow taking of Ukraine. I noticed a few days ago that President Putin and Medvedev, the former president of Russia and currently a chairman of the Russian Security Council, both President Putin and Medvedev and other individuals and associated with the Russian government are now calling Ukraine the former Ukraine. And we have this. The objective for NATO and taking Ukraine is to take Russia and take their resources. And I would like to remind everyone that just a couple of days ago, Russia said if F-16s go in, if U.S. troops go in, if NATO troops go into Ukraine, that Russia will respond with a tactical nuclear strike on Washington, D.C., London, England, Paris, France, possibly Berlin, Germany, Brussels, the location for NATO, and possibly on Denmark if Denmark tries to block Russian ships in the Baltic Sea. Now we have this coming out from Larry Johnson, former CIA, and we had a report from New York Prepper yesterday that there were bombers over Germany. It's believed, and Larry Johnson is hearing, that NATO may put forth some type of false flag on one of the NATO nations to get the people of the NATO nations to back NATO going to World War III against Russia. It's believed this possibly might be Germany. This concludes my flash. Baby, I believe, based on this activity of the sun, 4 4 strong CMEs coming in, a 10% chance for a kill shot. I believe it's a great time to prep and pray. I love you, and I'll see you soon.